What happens when you are stuck in the Australian outback after a new zombie outbreak has started and you had to kill your wife and child 5 minutes ago? Well, shit. In this video, we follow the insane journey of Barry, who is on his way to rescue his sister Brooke, look at the mistakes he makes, and figure out how we can solve his problems more efficiently and beat the zombies in Wyrmwood 2014. Let's go. The film opens up with a quick scene of an unnamed guy describing the hunting trip he took with his brother and a friend some time ago. During that night, they saw a beautiful meteor shower, and the next morning they woke up with one of them being a zombie. Looks like someone has made the wrong wish. Anyway, let's start with our protagonists. During a goth photo shoot, photographer Brooke's subject suddenly turns into a zombie without any warning. She quickly kills her assistant, and Brooke tries to escape, but realizes that outside are even more zombies waiting to bite, scratch, and finger you in ways you thought wouldn't be possible outside of male prisons. By now, her assistant has already turned into a zombie herself, leading to Brooke having to kill her with a shovel. Now at this point, it is not entirely clear why Brooke's model turned, but she didn't, meaning so far it could hit anyone at any time without any transparent explanation. I would at least stay out of reach, don't touch anything that these infected people have touched, and stay vigilant of my environment. We also know that the zombies can be killed in normal ways, i.e. head trauma, decapitation, fire. Pick your weapon, it's all free to pick. Brooke then calls her brother Barry to warn him and his family about what is happening, but he doesn't seem to understand what she's talking about. Now, to be fair, we can't blame this guy. Even if he understood what she was ranting on about, chances are you wouldn't take a call like this serious. Now, the phone line dies just as his daughter comes in and tells him about an intruder in the kitchen. And having an unwanted intruder in your house is never a good thing. And if that intruder happens to be a zombie, well then you better come up with some good plan. So what I would do is, of course, leave my child in the bedroom and tell them to barricade themselves in. That way I can deal with whatever is out there without having to worry about anything but myself. I would arm myself, split up if I happen to have another trustworthy person around me, and attack the intruder while knowing that I have backup in case I need it. But this intruder is not someone you want to confront with. It's an Australian zombie. So it prefers a nice steak instead of the juicy humans in this building. However, once it sees our heroes, it has a change of heart and attacks them, but can be killed off with an axe. Nice one. They put on gas masks, I don't know why exactly, but they do it, get ready and rush over to their car while fighting through their way. At the same time, Brooke wakes up to the sound of gunfire coming through the door of her studio. 3 armed men enter, all wearing gas masks, and, well, make a scene. Now, we don't really know why, but it's clear that gas masks seem to be important. And if gas masks seem important, it's likely that there is an airborne contaminant flying around. Now, they force her to the ground, take some of her blood to test if she's infected, and once cleared, give the okay. Then they knock her down and take her with them. Meanwhile, Barry and his family are escaping the hostile environment when the child starts acting weird on the back seat. It doesn't take a minute until she starts turning into a zombie. Well, they try and continue regardless of what just happened, because that's what you do when your 7-year-old child on the backseat turns into a flesh-eating mutant, but eventually have to stop when his wife starts turning as well. Now, there's hardly anything worse than having your loved ones being taken away from you without any announcement. But having them turning into zombies that now want to eat you is on a whole different level. Barry is forced to kill them both with a nail gun because he doesn't have anything else, and before he is able to kill himself, he runs out of nails, which is almost comedic. Now, no matter how tough that was though, we now know important things. For instance, that killing these zombies is an easy feat. You don't need to overthink stuff, unless of course it's your family, but suffice to say that having blood all over you from an infected human without thinking it may be a good idea to clean yourself is insane. Okay, I would shower and gurgle with the next hand sanitizer I'd find. Things are not going better for Brooke. She wakes up, finds herself chained up in a lab full of zombies, and is dazzled on how she got there. And if that wasn't enough, a doctor in a hazmat suit walks in, puts on some music, and starts dancing as if his wildest dreams have come true. Now, whatever the reason is why she is in here, it doesn't seem to be a good thing. But before we find out why though, we cut back to Barry and see how he's doing. Now, after his rough last moments with his family, another survivor arrives. This guy, initially relieved to find another non-zombie, is surprised by Barry trying to snatch away his rifle to kill himself. But Barry gets knocked out in the process and wakes up again in the back of a truck. The two, almost fighting again, decide to talk about the recent events and determine that these are zombies and team up with each other. The goal is to get to Barry's sister and rescue her. Now, first of all, it is refreshing to have characters in a movie actually say the word zombie. That has become a rare thing, so thumbs up for that. Also, it's good to stick together in times like these, but I would leave out the pot, okay? Being high while fighting flesh-eating monsters seems not to be the best idea. Anyway, just a short while later, the truck breaks down, and a bunch of zombies attack them at the same time, and after they have been taken out, they go to investigate the area. And that is when our new guy's head is blown off. Well, that was a quick collaboration, but thanks anyway. Seems like another guy named Benny has shot him after thinking it was a zombie. Now here's a tip. Make sure you know that the person you're shooting at is a zombie, because it's not that difficult to tell them apart. Now those two team up, for whatever reason, and find a shed with a truck and a horde of zombies outside. With more luck than brain, they are able to avoid the crowd, kill a few of them, and enter the barn where they meet two new stupid guys, Frank and assistant Ned. Frank shows Barry why their car is broken down. Now apparently all flammable liquids such as petrol are no longer flammable. Whatever logic that follows, who knows, but it is what it is. They also show off Neville, a living zombie in the freezer that evaporates green gas. Now during lunch break, one of the guys lights up a cigarette, throws away the match and accidentally ignites the zombie blood on the ground. Being shocked by what they see, they try the same thing on a zombie in the freezer and find that they are highly flammable. That is very interesting, and frankly, I have never seen anything like that, so pretty cool. Not only are these zombies some of the dumbest ever created, but they can also be used to burn down other zombies. It's the perfect loop. Doesn't get more eco-friendly than this, believe me. Not only are they extremely prone to fire, but you can also use their bodily fluids to craft Molotov cocktails and even fuel your car. Yeah, it's pretty sick. That's right, they hook their pet zombie to a pump and start filling up their cans. Then, they distract the zombies outside, pull the truck inside, and refill the tank. Unfortunately, Ned gets bitten and starts turning, but having realized the potential of zombie blood, they make the best out of it, fixate a nice structure onto the backside of the truck, hook Ned up, and have the perfect perpetual refilling system ready to storm the roads of Australia. Let's go. Now back in the lab, Brooke is having weird visions from the zombie's perspective. It's almost as if she's able to control them with her mind, which is weird as fuck, but quite nice too. Can't complain about seeing that. Now when the armed men rush in again, Brooke takes control of one of the zombies and manages to overpower the guys. But this is where things get interesting, right? Being able to control zombies is a real game changer. Not only that, but it's also fun, of course. It's like having inherited the founding zombie power. But before we get there, we have to go back to our three boys and see what they do. The three boys are continuing their road trip, harvest a few zombies to ensure their fuel reserves, and have a good time until one of them needs to take a piss. Now taking a piss in a zombie-infested area is not a good thing. I mean, have you ever tried running away from a zombie with your pee-pee hanging out? Nah, exactly, that's a bad starting point. And of course, it doesn't take long until that exactly happens. He rushes back, just makes it in time, but the truck is dead. The engine doesn't start anymore. They realize suddenly that the zombies stop breathing the flammable gas at night, and that they are faster and stronger too, meaning they use the gas themselves. So this means that there is only one real course of action, right? Stay indoors when it gets dark and harvest zombies during the day. What you certainly don't want to do is be stuck outside when nightfall hits. Basically, just like Will Smith in I Am Legend. Well, our three guys are completely stuck. Their only shelter is their barricaded truck, and the only thing they can do right now is sit through the night and wait for it to become morning again. Now they share some cozy stories and start theorizing why they haven't turned yet. Now Frank comes up with Wyrmwood, a biblical reference of a star that falls to earth and brings disease and terror. He also mentions that when Wyrmwood falls in the book of Revelations, some people get left behind to face trials and tribulations, which is what Frank thinks is happening to them. Now, whatever is happening right now, it is obviously supernatural, right? So if this is a biblical reference, first thing I would do is consult the Bible. Who knows, maybe even holy water does the job. So instead of guns, you can use holy water pistols instead. Pew, pew, pew. Now, whatever it is that you come up with, just don't do the following. Barry accidentally lights one of the zombies on fire, however that is possible. I mean, you also don't smoke at a gas station, so why would you do this? Anyway, in the efforts to extinguish the fire, Frank is bitten and has to be killed off. Bye bye, Frank, it was nice to know you. Not only does he need to be killed off as a valuable team member, but he almost ruined their one and only shelter too. You see, this shelter was perfectly secure, and despite the dozens of zombies outside and no way to escape, they were pretty safe. The only job they had was to sit still and wait it out, but like ADHD children in 5th grade, they were bound to fail. On the next day, when they continue their journey to Brooke, they come across the same 2 armed guys that captured her at the start of the movie. But the vibe they give off is super sus. Our characters don't trust them but decide to follow them anyway. They claim that they have met Brooke and know exactly where she is. Now, oddly enough, they also claim that anybody with an A-negative blood type is immune to zombification, which would explain why some people turn and others not. They also lack any official military logos on their vests, which also suggests that these 2 aren't the ones who they claim to be. Now, back at the lab, Brooke uses her newly found powers to fight the dog without him realizing it. She manages to control multiple zombies and kills them off quite easily. She frees herself, walks over to the back door, opens the door and realizes that she was in the mobile lab all along. Not only that, but her brother is literally just behind her, waiting for her to jump onto his truck. Now that's pretty convenient. I don't know who has written this movie, but come on, okay? But we've already got shooting stars turning people into flesh-eating monsters, a woman who can control zombies for no reason at all, and zombie blood that dubs as car fuel. To be honest, I am not surprised by any of that. In need for a new fuel source, because the last one broke down, Brooke draws one zombie closer and locks him into the back of the truck. But just at that moment, Benny gets shot by the mad soldiers rushing back. They escape and seek refuge in a nearby forest. Now, I'm not sure why you want to do that. Why would you leave your car? You had your fuel ready, and your wounded friend will do worse outside compared to being in an armed vehicle driving away, no? Now suddenly, Brooke seems to be turning into a zombie herself. She wants to kill herself, but before she can do that, a new squad of soldiers surprise them, causing her to escape and Barry and Benny being captured. Now while they're captured and are almost being tortured to expose where Brooke is, not that anybody knows, she plans an attack with a bunch of zombies charging on her call. They shoot her zombies down and handcuff her too. Great job, Brooke. Great job. I'm just kidding. She should have had her zombies climb the trees instead and drop down onto the soldiers like spiders. And also stay hidden, of course, because her power are pretty futile if she just enters close combat. That way she would have stayed safe but had a good chance in saving her brother and friend regardless. Now Barry plans on blowing up the truck, killing them all because he thinks everything is lost already. But Benny has another idea. He voluntarily lets himself be bitten, for no reason at all, and chops off his handcuffed arm, grabs a gun, and kills a soldier who was about to decapitate Brooke. Now Brooke surrounds them with all other zombies, but is shot into her chest and drops dead. Barry screams like a man, takes his rudimentary boomerang, throws it at this guy right here, and cracks open his gas mask. Since he is not A-negative, he will soon become a zombie too. But of course, this is an Australian movie. Therefore, the two decide to go for a final fist showdown that literally lasts longer than any other scene before. They beat each other down until Barry seemingly wins and Brooke awakes from the dead again. Hell yeah. Now, not gonna lie, this movie was not the best that I have ever seen. It was just strange. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. With that said, thanks for watching anyway. I hope you enjoyed it in some way. Catch you guys soon, binge another one, and until next week, peace out.